This is pretty spectacular, and I just wanted to document this about what it's actually doing. I'm using Claude Code. This is set up to my professional folder. And essentially in this folder, what I've got are past papers with the answers and also with a principal examiner report. Traditionally, what I've done is I've taken the very laborious and time-consuming task of basically copying out everything from a specific paper and then pasting it into a spreadsheet that looks like this. And as you can see, there's a lot of information in here. This is some really great data for any sort of teachers or an AI. But this process of getting all of this information from this PDF takes a long time, and I've got to be honest with you, in the past this would take me at least a good few weeks of getting everything from the questions, from the answers and the mark scheme, and also the principal examiner report. However, today what I did, and this is quite spectacular, today what I did is I just wanted to see if an AI could do this. Now, a bit of background is that I tried this a few years ago, actually last year, and it just didn't work. The AI couldn't really read which questions that I wanted. It was sort of copying all of this. And even when I pointed out that you shouldn't really have these things in there, it kept copying and pasting stuff in there. So in other words, this was a complete failure that an AI just couldn't do. However, with the progression that AI is going at, it's now able to do it. So the purpose of this video is I want to test out this and just see if I can do it now with a new component and if it would just know how to complete this task. Okay, so to give you a bit of a background, what I've got is in this 2005, this is for component 4, and again, all I gave it was three files. The first one was the question. So these are all the questions from the paper. I then gave it the mark scheme, and then I gave it the examiner report. So with this, what I wanted to do essentially was now give it 3 new files. And again, this is the question, this is the examiner feedback, and then this is the mark scheme. And what I wanted to do was just set this up and just see, can you repeat this process, but with 3 new files? Right, so what I'm going to do is this. On this right side is going to be the conversation with Claude Code. And on this side, you're going to see the actual Finder window. And again, Claude Code has access to this folder. So once I direct it to this and I say, okay, let's now do this with the component 3, in theory, this should work. Okay, so all I've done really is this. I copied this and I just changed from the 2026, I put in 2025 here. This is going to be the component 3. And then what I said is that these files were going to be found here, which was in the planning and admin music technology component 4. So in theory, this should work. All right, so with this, I think what's going to happen is that Claude Code is going to recognize that in this folder, what we've got are 3 of the files. Yep, there it is. So it's identified, there's a past paper, right, there's your mark scheme, and there's your identifier. So basically, these are the 3 things that I used. And as is typical with Claude Code, it's going to create this to-do list. What's nuts about this is that what you can see over here on the left-hand side is how quickly Claude Code is going to move back and forth. Okay, so, which is quite astonishing. So Claude just went nuts, and it's now doing this to-do list. Quite interestingly, it's found out that the component 3 is different from the component 4. And again, it's one of these things that Claude Code just does brilliantly. It automatically finds out similarities or what is different. So again, just notice how it's now going to extract these questions from the component 3. Just to give you a little bit of background about this as well, when I was doing it this morning for the 2025 component 4, essentially what it was doing is that it kept writing all this Python code, as you can see here, what it's doing. And I think what Claude Code does is that when it is confronted with a problem, if you will, or something that it doesn't know how to do, it will create Python code to complete that task. And so I think what happened this morning, let me see if I can just go and just show you. Yeah, So basically, these development scripts, what it did is that it created all these Python scripts to basically create this analysis. So one thing I want to mention about how great Claude Code is look what it's doing on this. It's updating the code. So yeah, this is one thing that I just find astonishing about Claude Code, is that if you've got something that doesn't work, in the past, I think that what a program would do is just say, I'm really sorry, but I don't know what you want me to do with this. Whereas Claude Code, writing its own code and then figuring out, well, this doesn't work, let me go back and then just change that code, is simply astonishing. Okay, so right now it's extracted all the questions. It's going to now process the examiner feedback. And again, it's going to extract this mark scheme answers. And as you can see here, it's now got the mark scheme here. Okay, so Claude has now finished all of its to-do list here. It looks like it's processed all of the individual files, and there's a file CSV, and it's going to tell me where it is, obviously here. So let's try and find this. So it looks like that Claude put this into the processing folder here on the output files. And as you can see, that there are 3 different CSV files. All right, so opening up now this CSV file, which is the final one that it said that it's going to do. All right, so let me do this. Let me identify if it's done this question right. All right, so on this side, I've got what Claude gave me, the final version of it. And on this side, what I've got is the open up file for the actual exam. So yeah, identify 2 pitch base effects. It's got the marking right. Let's just go down a bit further randomly. So this is going to be now 2C, and that looks like it's correct as well, right? Why don't we go into, I want to go 4B. Yeah, so it looks like all the questions have been extracted from the PDF into the CSV file. So let's have a look at the mark scheme. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I think it's done it. So this is the question, or sorry, the answer for 1A, which is here. Yeah, pads. So it looks like it has extracted everything from the mark scheme, which is pretty insane. Okay, let's have one last look at the principal examiner report. So here's the report. Yep. So let me just see. Yep. So that would be that. Yeah. So as you can see now, it looks like it's got this. Let me just put another random one. So yeah, question 2C. So it's done it, which is quite an amazing feat, I think, particularly when you think about how much time I spent on this. Okay, so there's 2 areas in here that I think I'm going to have to double check, but I'll just do this in my own time, which is the topic code. And then going back into the type of question, I might have to mess around with this a little bit and just see how Claude figured this out. But the fact that it went through all 3 of these files is absolutely amazing, and that did not take long whatsoever. So as you can see here, it went through this to-do list, and it just broke this down about what it actually did. So I'm going to assume that next year when I have this exam, I'm just going to put in that really simple prompt and away it goes. This is absolutely no exaggeration, but it used to take me weeks to copy and paste stuff out. And with this, it's done in no time at all. Not to sound too preachy at all, but we talk about how much AI is going to be changing our jobs. This is a huge part of my job that has now been taken over by AI. And one thing I do want to mention is that a year ago, this would not have taken place. So just thinking about different steps that I could take after this, I suppose that this could be given to other colleagues in other departments and to see if it works with their files. I suppose if one had time, one could always create this app within Claude Code and then maybe post it onto the internet.